Good morning, everybody. In today's presentation, we will talk about the scheduling sub-process workflow activity available in Oracle Order Management. In Oracle Order Management, order line workflow, we have three types of scheduling sub-processes: schedule line manual, schedule line deferred. Today, we will talk about first and second. In scheduling is an online sub process. That means as soon as we book the order, scheduling happens. But in schedule line, scheduling is manual. That means as soon as we book the sales order, scheduling workflow activity is not triggered. Let me explain this with the example, with a workflow example. This is a sales order line generic workflow offered by the standard product. So if we look into that, this is a sales order line workflow. This is for just a standard line. So we have an enter line activity, then we have a schedule line, then we have a create supply line activity. I mean sub process. So these are the sub processes, and this is the activity. So now let's open this schedule line sub process. In this sub process, we can say that as long as this schedule line sub process triggered, the workflow come to the start activity, and then it come to the schedule activity. And it is this schedule activity where we have all the code for scheduling process. So as long as the moment workflow will come reach this activity, the scheduling process triggered. But suppose for some reason scheduling is incomplete, we don't have a stock or some other valid reason, it will take incomplete path, or if we have a some hold, it take the on hold path, and it come to the schedule eligible activity. Schedule eligible activity is a block activity. So the moment the workflow come to this activity, we can progress the workflow by selecting the order line in sales order screen and right click, and then from the drop down menu we can say process line or process order, and again this will come to this activity, and again the scheduling process will execute it, and based on the outcome it go to ineligible, complete, or back to this. So as I explained, if the workflow is at the schedule eligible activity, we can progress the workflow from the sales order form. That is the one option. The other option is we can run the standard concurrent program schedule order, and while doing that we can select the parameter as one of the parameter. It is something what activity we want to do. So in that we can say, in when we trigger the schedule order concurrent program, we can say we can progress all the order lines which are at the schedule eligible, and then it will pick this process, and the schedule order concurrent program pick all the lines where the workflow is at this activity, and then progress. Again, it will come here, and based on the outcome, it go to any of the here, this, or back to this. So as you see, as soon as we book the order, the scheduling has performed. So workflow, let's go back to the workflow, and so that was the scheduling process line. So now we have a scheduling process, schedule line manual sub process. If I open this, so here we see, like the moment the workflow got we book the order, it will come to start, and then is schedule activity. This this activity will check if the line is already scheduled, or it is not eligible, or it is not yet scheduled. If it is already scheduled, it will take this path and come to end. If it is not eligible, it come to end. But if it's supposed to schedule and it is not yet scheduled, it will take this path and come to schedule eligible activity. So please note that the difference between this and earlier is, so we call schedule eligible activity and not a schedule. So when we say schedule eligible activity, that means the workflow has not yet executed the schedule line code. So workflow come and sit here. Now you have two options. So either you go to the sales order form and progress the line, or you run the schedule order concurrent program, and then it will come and pick this activity and then only call the scheduling. So the difference between schedule line is, as long as you book the order, it come and execute schedule. But with the schedule line manual, it will come and check this and come here. And only when you progress manually from the sales order form or through the concurrent program sales order, sorry, schedule order concurrent program, it will progress and call the scheduling. So by default, this is the generic workflow. So suppose you want to create, you need a workflow where you want to do the manual activity. So where you want to do the manual scheduling activity. So what we have to do is, there is no CD workflow. So what we have to do, let's go back to navigator and select line flow generic. So now say Control C, Control V, give a name. So let's just make the display name and the description same, and give a meaningful name, manual scheduling, just a. So as I was explaining now, if you want to create a workflow with a manual scheduling, so just go to the your line flow generic standard workflow, say Control C, Control V, just copy, give a name, say M generic with the, give a display name, and just Control C, Control V, copy the description is the same, say OK, and now we have this workflow ready. Just click here. Now we have a standard workflow is available. So now what you just come to here, uh, from the tools menu, select the sub process, and then keep the item type as the OM order line. In the internal name, say manual. So this is the sub process for the manual scheduling. Click here, say OK. And so we have this schedule line manual process is available in this our workflow now. I mean the workflow line for generic with manual scheduling your collapse, the one which we just created. Now come back, delete your scheduling standard activity, I mean the activity which was there in the standard workflow. Place your schedule line manual sub process from enter line sub process, connect to the schedule line manual, and that's it. So this is now your workflow. The workflow which you just created has a schedule line manual sub process. That means as soon as you book the order line, I mean as soon as you book the sales order, or you enter a new line in the booked sales order with a workflow for the line as a line flow generic with manual scheduling, uh, it will come to this activity, and then it will check if the line is already scheduled or not. If it is it's supposed to be scheduled and it is already, then it take this path. If it is not supposed to schedule, it take this path. Otherwise it's supposed to be scheduled, and then it come to schedule eligible activity. Once the workflow is at this activity, uh, there like you can progress it manually, or you can run the concurrent program schedule order to progress the order line. So that's for today. So in today's presentation we learn how to add a manual schedule activity in our standard order line workflow. Now, as our workflow is ready, now, let's create a sales order and see how the manual scheduling work. So let's create a sales order, enter a line, enter a quantity, say 2, and so just book the sales order. So as soon as we book the order, the line status should be go to awaiting shipping. But in this case, we can see the its status is booked. So let me take the workflow and see where exactly the workflow for this line is. Okay, let me see where the workflow for this line is. Now, if we look into the workflow for the line is at the schedule eligible. That's for where I explained like this is, so it will be not that ship line notified, it is the schedule eligible. Now let's run the concurrent program. So to run the concurrent program, let me pause this for some second and it will take some time. So our concurrent program name is schedule order. So as a vision operation is my, so this is the functionality available in release 12, like we can enter the operating unit in while running the concurrent program or reports. My order number is this. So I don't want to run it for everything which is available in my system. So we have a few options. See, the thing is like we can run this program just like that, or we, if we want to run it efficiently, we I just want to say, okay, I want to run it for the booked order. Scheduling mode is I want to schedule because my line is not yet scheduled. So I just want to run it very precisely so that it will not impact my performance. At the same time, as I explained, um, we have another activity here. We can use the sort by, which since in my case there is only one order, so it's not make much difference here. So these are the parameters which I enter vision operations, order, and you can enter the warehouse, you can enter the item, you can enter the line type workflow, and this is I want to select only order which are booked and what I want to do. So submit, okay, and submit. Since okay, no, I have a limitation of 15-minute presentation in the YouTube, so I'm pausing the program. Sorry for pausing the program in between, but only thing is I have to complete this demo in 15 minutes. So now my concurrent program is complete. Now let's go to the workflow. Okay, I refresh it, and now if you look into that, my workflow is ship line activity. Sorry, ship line notify activity. So whenever you want to use, if you don't want scheduling to happen automatically, and you want to manually schedule this manually schedule your order line, you can use this concurrent program and modify your workflow to make the scheduling as a manual. So that's for now. Let's go to the order if you want to see where the order is now, order line. So it is now in awaiting shipping. Earlier it was booked, now it's awaiting shipping. So that's all. I think my time limit is also getting over. So this is how we do the uh, manual scheduling. Thanks.